Dunedin has hosted a series of events over the past month to mark the beginning of the centenary of World War I. Roger McElwain is the Deputy Chairman of the World War I Governance Committee, and he joins us to talk about the commemorations. Good evening, Roger.
Good evening.
Now, when did the centenary commemorations kick off in Dunedin?
From my point of view, we started really December 2012, and that was when we put the business case together for the city in terms of World War I 100, the commemorative activities. But in terms of the actual official launch, we started in April this year, when the Mayor actually launched the World War I 100 commemorative activities. We've then had a number of activities since then. We've had the Toitu Otago Settlers Museum opening at their World War I exhibition on the 31st of July, and it really is a great exhibition. Then we've had the declaration of war in early August, and then in this past weekend we've just had the Embarkation Day, which commemorated the departure of over 1,600 soldiers from Otago Southland to Europe and Asia.
What was the turnout like for Embarkation?
I was surprised at how good it was. I think when the parade occurred, we were only looking at around 600 or 700 people, but people joined it at the Exchange, at the Octagon, and then at the railway station. And I think we were very close to around 2,000 people, which was a great turnout. You know, daylight saving had occurred, the weather was a bit cold, but I think that just shows the importance of what these men did over 100 years ago.
What events are still to come?
So the next event's coming up, really the main one is Gallipoli, which is Anzac Day next year, and that's the next one that we're now planning towards from a World War I 100 perspective.
How do you engage younger generations in events for wars that they can't remember?
Very challenging. I think that this younger generation is very interested, particularly from a personal point of view in terms of how their family was involved, what their family members did, and there was a tremendous amount of interest from young children, teenagers, and older persons as well around what their family members had done. There's also a strong theme, I think, in the younger generation coming through, children, young adults, teenagers as well, of what I would call, you know, responsibility, service to the community, service to society, and I think also the whole concept of duty, and I think they understand those well, and they're looking for opportunities in their own life to do those sort of things.
Are these centenary commemorations the largest ever in this country?
I don't think so. I think there's been larger centennial celebrations, but I think this one here it's timely. It's something that I think a lot of New Zealanders are very engaged with and actually want to participate in.
What's happening elsewhere in the world?
Well, there are commemorative activities in a number of other countries that are occurring as well, and the equivalent of what we are doing here in Dunedin is occurring, I think, right throughout New Zealand. But in Australia they will also undertake commemorative activities, and each of the major campaigns are to a certain extent being commemorated in places like the Middle East, Europe and so on. And so as each of these anniversaries comes round, there will be significant commemorative activities occurring in those places.
And how are these commemorations funded?
Here in New Zealand, the Ministry of Culture and Heritage and the Lotteries Commission put a funding pool together that different organisations, community organisations, city groups could apply for. And so we applied over 12 months ago for funding for a number of these commemorative activities. We were successful in some, we were less successful in others. You would like to think that perhaps as we go further into the period of commemorative activities that more funding will be made available, and then we'll make application for that as well.
Deputy Chairman of the World War I Governance Committee, Roger McElwain, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.